Hello, friends. On air from Nashville, it's me, Ruth Rosen.
And on air from Seattle, it's me, Tim Tackett.
In today's episode, we will sit down for a really honest conversation about some of the moments and people that have shaped our lives. We'll bring some clarity to the last episode, and Tim opens up about some of the experiences that have shaped his path through loss and finding strength in unexpected places. We talk about grief, healing, parenting, and the quiet ripple effect our stories can have on others.
So, Ruthie, in our last episode that we recorded, we may have started in the middle, and I think we need to go back a little bit. Our listeners, some of our friends, gave us some great feedback about what may have been missing. Everything is new to them and familiar to us. So I think where we should start this episode is revisiting some of the people that we discuss and explain who they are.
Okay, great idea, Tim.
I think we need to start with Carla, though, and I would love for you to tell us who Carla is.
So Carla is and was, I say both of those. She was my only daughter. At 14, she was diagnosed with brainstem glioma, fought hard for 13 months, and went to heaven at 15 and a half.
That's too young. She was amazing, my niece.
Your niece, and way too young.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about her a lot. I mean, she is what drives us. We also talk about Brandon and Cole. Who are Brandon and Cole?
Brandon and Cole are your nephews, my sons. Brandon was only 7 years old when his sissy was diagnosed, and 8 years old when she went to heaven. He is 27 now. Cole was only 4 when his sissy got diagnosed, just turned 5 when she went to heaven, and Cole is 24 now.
I have great memories of visiting your house in California and seeing the three of them, and I don't have many, unfortunately. Some of my favorite memories, like she was so grounded, and those two dudes were like just
all
boys.
over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, never having brothers, it was a lot. Having ages 4 and 7, a child going through cancer, a husband who still traveled and still does travel for his job, it was a lot.
Well, and that's another name that we brought up was Michael, who is your husband.
28 years.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
I know there's many more years there too. You guys
Well,
do
I think
have
so
a
too.
wonderful, real relationship with struggles and joy and laughter, and that is what a relationship is built on.
Oh, we've had some struggles, but now truly there's a lot of joy and
Yeah.
laughter.
We talked a little bit about it last episode too, but I haven't had a relationship really with Michael, but I feel like ever since I got him on the phone, it's been really in the cabin.
Coincidence? Was that a coincidence, Tim?
It was a coincidence. Yep.
I don't think so, but it's okay. One of these days you're going to look at me and go, I don't think that was a coincidence. At least that's my prayers.
Maybe you'll look at me and say, you know what, Tim? That was a coincidence.
Yes. After so many mornings spending with you, I'm beginning to, I don't know. I might be going in that direction already, but okay. I'm going to stay positive.
I love that we meet in the middle, though. It's good.
Yes.
So another name that we bring up. So we've got Carla, Brandon, Cole, Michael, and then there's Rick.
Rick. Well, there's actually 2 Ricks, but I'll tell you about the first Rick in my life. And that was Carla's dad, my first husband. We separated when Carla was about 3 and then divorced when Carla was 6. I am proud of something in that we parented her really well together. We maintained an incredible friendship long before her diagnosis, but boy, did that pay off.
I have 2 memories of Rick. And one was when I came to see you and visit, and we were going out to get some gas for the jet skis. And we pull into the gas station, and I don't even remember how old I was. I was a teenager. And this cute girl walks by, and he catches me looking at her, and he's like, "A lot of tomatoes around here." And I'm like,
Tomatoes?
I'm like,
Tomatoes?
tomatoes.
Are you sure?
That's exactly what he said, and I had never heard that term before, but I will never forget it because it was like, it made him real and a person, but also like this grizzly old man.
I have never heard him call I mean, it's been a
Yeah,
long
a
time.
lot of
We've been,
tomatoes around here. It's like, well, yeah, there are. If tomatoes are what I think they are that you're saying, I don't know.
So did you, like, ask him what he meant, or did you pretend and
No, I was
just
just like,
laugh it off?
yeah, I'm a
Because that's
man
what you do
too.
when you're a teenager.
And
Oh
then the
my
other
gosh.
memory was he got me these backstage passes to a motocross race in Tacoma at the Tacoma Dome.
It's called the pits.
The pits, yeah.
Yes.
And I got to take like 10 friends. And I remember just like I thought I was the coolest kid, like, come with me, yeah. And they were really good friends that I still kind of keep in touch with today. But I remember I got a Kawasaki jacket. And
Mhm.
ever since that day, people referred to me as Tim Tackett with the Kawasaki jacket.
Oh, that was a fun I actually remember that when we all went, and didn't Carla end up joining us on that?
I don't
She
know
was
if
with us as well. Was
I
that
don't know if it
one of
was
them or
that
no?
one. No, I think this one was different. But I
Okay.
also remember my dad having the best time. He had never really gone to those before. And I remember, like, as a young kid, you don't remember a whole lot. But I remember looking at him and, like, he was in heaven. He was loving it.
You just said something that's triggered a thought for me. Is I don't really think that my last 2 decades, I really absorbed the impact of my kids so young going through cancer, then losing their sister, and then being surrounded throughout their last 2 decades growing up with childhood cancer. So I look forward to diving into that, discovering new things that not only will help me heal as a human and as a mom, but to be able to be a better mom to my boys.
There's something interesting too about what you're saying, their journey and what they remember.
Mhm.
They probably remember things completely differently. Cole's memory of what happened and Brandon's memory of what happened is different than your memory of what happened and mine. And
Absolutely. We have uncovered during our years of conversations differences, or like, oh, I didn't know that you remembered that. So maybe one day, just like we could get our mom on a show, maybe that we'll even get them on a episode down the line.
that would mean a lot getting Brandon and Cole on here. And it's probably still really hard for them to think about because they want to remember more and they don't.
They can't.
Yeah.
And Cole at 4 and 5, there are things that he does not remember, but other people do.
Yeah.
And it used to get him very upset when
Yep.
people shared the good memories and he didn't have that. That's definitely the same thing with Brandon. I mean, he is one who doesn't really share emotions, keeps it all inside.
Yeah.
And I respect both of them. And at times I don't think maybe I was there for them through their healing process because I was so busy helping families and I was just so immersed in it. So I just love that both my boys are living here in Nashville right now, and I have an opportunity. They don't live with us, so technically we're empty nesters, which I love,
Sometimes.
but sometimes. But I, I love that they're close and we hang out and we have great conversation.
Yeah. Well,
But
and
we're still broken.
you're not broken.
We
You've
are.
you've used that term before, but
Hmm.
I want to disagree with you. I think that everything is a trial and everything has purpose. I think that what's happening now will build upon what will be.
But I don't want to be this person who pretends everything's great because this mama's heart, it is not great. I feel at peace. I am completely okay with where they're at, but my boys don't speak to one another right now. And it's very difficult for me, Tim. You were here. You saw them both at different times. They didn't
Hmm.
want to come here at the same time. And I know I'm not the only parent that can also relate to that. And it is all in God's timing. There is purpose through this, and my surrendering heart is at peace. So, enough said about that. So, let's move on because it's not our topic today.
I think that any parent can relate to what you're saying. And look at our mom. I mean, we didn't
Yep.
talk for 6 years, and she was constantly like, Ruthie, blah 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 blah. Tim, blah 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 blah.
No, she never talked about you.
Well, that's probably for her own peace of mind.
There was nothing to talk about.
But look at what we're doing now. So who's to say that whatever is happening between Cole and Brandon, in 6 years, maybe their
Mhm.
relationship will be stronger. Maybe they'll have a better purpose. We don't know. And I know it hurts you now.
Mhm.
And it's weird when I the agnostic, come forward with, you need to have faith.
I do, and that's why I have peace.
Good.
Because
Good.
when you have faith and you surrender, and we're way off topic, but there's a peace beyond all understanding that comes with that. It's okay.
Yeah.
So just keep going.
Appreciate that. Thanks for.
You're welcome.
I love our tangents.
When we talked about in the first episode that mom gave up another child for adoption, and we would get more into that. And when we start talking about that part of our adoption story, then you'll get to know a little bit more about Rick.
Yeah.
So there's first Rick and brother Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did we fill everybody in because you talked about Bethany? So your dog, who is your dog?
So we have a all white, blue-eyed, amazing Siberian Husky named Gordy. And
he's gorgeous.
Oh, God. And a talker. Holy cow. This morning he was chatting me up, telling me all about his night last night and his dreams. And he's outside right now. But yeah, he's something else.
Actually, he wasn't telling you about his night last night. Because you know how like a parrot, they feed back what they've heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what he was trying to do was tell you all about your night last night.
You're never going to believe what you did, Dad. Do you remember?
Exactly.
Thank goodness
exactly.
for him. One last thing I think we should define is what the Let It Be Foundation is and how that began and ended.
This is another is and was. Let It Be Foundation officially closed its doors in December of 2024. But I actually just received a text today from somebody who served Riley, who is now going to be a mama to be. She served in our youth leadership program. She was an amazing captain, came back as an intern. She said, Let It Be will always be in my heart. Let It Be Foundation supported the entire family when a child was diagnosed with cancer and other life-threatening illnesses. We not only supported the sick child, but the mom, the dad, the brothers, the sisters. We were there throughout the child's diagnosis, whether that child made it into remission, we were there to celebrate, or we were there to walk alongside the moms and dads, brothers and sisters who had to let go of that child way too soon.
How long was the foundation?
Just 2 months after losing Carla in 2006, and closed the doors December 2024. So 18 and a half years.
Wow.
Almost 19.
So the journey of Let It Be impacted a lot of people, a lot of children, and a lot of families.
So proud of it, and nothing will ever take away what we did for so many families. And I know you've asked me this question during our conversations, and people have asked me this throughout the years. How many families did you help? That's a very difficult question to answer because we had so many incredible programs. One of them being our hospital program, where we delivered thousands of backpacks. So when you look at the impact of that, you looked at our leadership program. We had an award-winning youth leadership program that served hundreds of youth, serving anywhere from 110 to 130 service hours every single year. And then there's the families that we walked alongside with directly, giving them that monthly support, gas, groceries, house cleaning, interacting with them at our events. And then the families that we walked alongside through the grieving process, and we would continue to help after their child went to heaven. So it's
Amazing.
really too difficult, but I know we impacted many.
Well, and I like to think that what you did and what you provided was similar to dropping a rock in a pond and the ripples. And you are the rock, and hundreds, thousands, however many people out of that collective, those people then went on and did something that impacted someone else. And then those people went on and did something else. So while the Let It Be Foundation is closed, the effects that it had are going to continue forever.
I 100% believe that. But one little correction, I'm not the rock. Carla's the rock.
Carla,
God's the rock. Them together, he created the rock. I had the rock in my hand because it was my child here on earth. And I had the ability to put the rock down or throw it and watch the ripple effect. And I chose to be the mom who didn't feel sorry for ourselves and keep going and find the hope and bring encouragement to those who did not have hope. I just want to remind you that that was way back when
Yeah.
before smartphones, before internet, there was no resources. So
Yeah.
I just did what my heart told me to do. She couldn't be here to love on earth, but I could certainly take the love that I had and love others. So why don't we explain a little bit why we're now calling Journey Part 2? When we originally started planning this, we didn't realize that we were going to have kind of what we'll call mini series to the learned wisdoms, because we realize that when we're discussing journey, there's so much to discuss within that learned wisdom that it's not just about our journey, but we also want to get different perspectives, different journeys in there, and our guest will come in. But we also realized, Tim, that there was a lot of unanswered questions, and we still wanted to let you know a little bit more about us and our journey to get here. So when we're talking about our journey series, it's based on learned wisdom. Draw upon your own life experiences, personal strengths, and talents to impact another person's journey. So I believe you asked us a question last episode.
I asked, and hopefully this sat with you guys for the last couple of weeks and you were able to do the work, because I believe that our episodes, while they are meant to bring you hope and encouragement, that you do the work that is necessary to help yourself bring hope and encouragement, because it's not just about us, it's about you. So what I asked was, right now, at this moment in your journey, how are you drawing on your experiences and impacting others? So the last question was about your experience and how you could help and impact others. And today, I want to talk about your personal strengths. What are your strengths? And I think last week you also asked Ruthie if I felt that strengths were,
That was gifts.
gifts.
We didn't talk about
Isn't that the same
strengths yet.
thing?
And no, it's absolutely not.
Hmm.
And
You don't think a
but
gift could be a strength?
gifts are given to us and strengths are developed, in my opinion. I have a couple questions for you, Tim, but what is a personal strength of yours?
Humor.
Absolutely, hands down, humor. And that's why we never get our episodes done on time, because you're always making me laugh.
I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Just a couple of questions. So,
Okay.
you were reading in the story how the doctor called you and you were
Dr.
driving in your
Ambrose.
car, Dr. Ambrose. And this is, I guess, just how my mind works. But I'm thinking, okay, so this is before smartphones and CarPlay and Bluetooth and all that stuff. So you're
Hands-free
driving.
law.
Yeah. You got your hand on the phone.
Flip phone. Flip phone.
So
I'm
it
pretty
wasn't
sure it was a flip phone.
not the Zach Morris Saved by the Bell brick phone. It was a flip phone.
No, it was a flip phone.
Man, you're classy. Anyway, so the doctor calls and doesn't say, like, are you driving or are you sitting down? He's just like, hey, I just want to let you know we found a mass on your daughter, on her brain, and you're driving.
I have to thought back afterwards. Wow, he didn't even ask me it was raining, Tim, and didn't even ask me, am I in a place to talk? I have something to talk. No, he just
Mrs. Rosen.
and yelled at me, and literally yelled at me. I just think back, and I even said to him, should I pull over?
You did?
Yes, he really did. I mean, I know it's
Wow.
not a laughing matter, but we laugh at it now. But yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Man, that stuck out to me. The other thing too that we talked about a little bit is you had mentioned that there was a nurse there who was kind of a jerk, and usually
Well,
you only have.
I didn't really say it like that, but
I
I
was just
wrote
going
it
off of.
like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, she seemed like a jerk. I mean, honestly, like no bedside manner. But you also mentioned that there was another nurse that came in, and the way you described the other nurse was, it stuck out to me, because usually there's only one nurse who's in there that helps you, right?
But I don't think I read it last week. I think what you're referring to, if I'm just correct me if I'm wrong, it was within the context of what I chose to read out loud in last episode, but I never read it. So someone might not know what you're talking about.
Well, there was, okay, so Maybe I guess maybe I need to go back and listen to our own episode. I can't even remember what I had for dinner last night, so be patient with me.
Okay.
But you mentioned
I am. I'm still here.
I know. God bless you. You mentioned another nurse had come in and shared a similar story about being claustrophobic.
They said to Carla that she needed to go in for the CAT scan, but she was all freaked out because she was claustrophobic. And I remember this rude nurse coming, and I'm using your words, and she was rude. She was just harsh. And she said, well, you need to settle down. I don't remember exactly. Give me a break. It's been 21 years now, because she'll be gone 20 years in, so 13 months, so almost 21 years. She said, if you don't settle down and take care of this, then you're going to have to come back tomorrow for this scan, because we don't have a doctor right now that can help you, give you anesthesia. And I remember leaning down to Carla and I said, Carla, you need to settle down, because I cannot come back tomorrow. We need to go right now for this scan. And then all of a sudden, this nurse walked in. We were in the hall because Carla was very anxious. She goes, I have a hard time too settling down. I don't like these machines. I'm going to give you a little secret. Now, don't tell anyone. I can't go to the bathroom with the door shut. I have to go to the bathroom with the door open. Carla laughed. I laughed. If I can do it, you can do it. She said, I'm going to give you a washcloth. It's just a towel, a little white one. I want you to put that over your eyes. And she did that. And then Carla came out and she goes, is it done? And I said, it's done. She goes, that was it? And I looked around and we never saw that nurse again. So yeah, it did happen. Any other questions?
Do you think that it was God and Carla, or God was in Carla?
I think that there's angels here on earth and they come in different ways, different times, different circumstances. And I believe that it was not coincidence that she appeared and then disappeared. So that's just my own belief. I know we can talk about that. In fact, I'm going to do a little research on that. And if I can get back to you on that, could I do that?
Oh, anytime. Absolutely. Okay. Do you think Carla is an angel? Was an angel?
You know what? You're going off script again. So, okay, so let me tell you, no, I do not think Carla is an angel. And I can get back to you on that as well. But God not healing Carla, her diagnosis, everything we went through, the starting of the foundation, God needed her. She was a shining light to all who met her. He allowed her to go through that because of a bigger plan he has. So that is a whole other conversation that we are not going to get into right now, because we're not going to get to what I have, because you're trying to distract me so I don't ask you the questions I want to ask you.
I'm ready. Do you want to start with those now?
So you have all learned a lot about our family, Ruth Rosen, Carla, what the foundation did. You heard it all. Well, not all of it. But what you don't know is, Tim, I've been asked, what does Tim do?
What do I do?
And yeah, what's your profession, Tim? You said you were in the grocery world, but you didn't really say what you do in the grocery world. Are you a bagger? Do you stock the shelves? Do you grow the organic goods?
Well, I mean, those are two separate questions, really, because I don't grow the organic goods that we sell at the store, but I do have a killer garden that right now.
Yes, you do. You do.
Our tomatoes are popping.
Do you mean like popping as in the garden, or Rick's version of popping?
Tomato.
Now that's stuck in my head. Thanks for that.
Well, it's
okay, so what do you do?
Too.
What do you do?
So I work for PCC Community Markets. It's the country's largest organically certified co-op. And we have 16 stores, and we're only in the Puget Sound. I'm the director of operations. I oversee all the stores on the east side of I-5. So I've got 8 stores that I oversee. And as a director of operations, I support the stores and the store leadership, and am the conduit between the office and the stores.
You have a big job.
I do. And it's funny, right now, my cohort, there's 2 directors. He oversees the west side, and I oversee the east side of I-5. He just is out. He's out right now on surgery. So he's actually on a 3-month leave of absence. So having to kind of pick up the other stores. And my VP, who I've worked with for many years now, we get along very well. We have a great working relationship.
That's
and
fantastic.
it's been a lot, but it's been so much fun. And I really believe in this company.
I think that I'm adding to that funness because you have weekly meetings with me and we don't talk grocery world. We talk about everything else and laugh,
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah, we do. This has been a lot of fun. I mean, I got to tell you, 2025, this has been one of the best years for personal growth and just like, I don't know what it's been, but
I'm
this
so glad
2025
that I
has
get
been
to witness this
awesome.
and be a part of it. And
You're
I love
part of
it.
the journey.
I am part of your journey.
Yep.
So, Tim, I didn't mean to cut you off because sometimes I do that.
That's okay. I do it
But
too.
you and I talk about me being a woman of faith, you being agnostic.
Mm-hmm.
So, agnosticism can mean different things to different people. How do you define it for yourself?
I would say that I am a spiritual person. I meditate, I take time to self reflect, listen to nature. But as an agnostic, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there is a God, but I don't know that. It's just my belief. I am curious about many things. And, being able to talk to you and your relationship with God, you've taught me a lot. I have learned a lot about God, the Bible, and the relationship. And it's, I'm not saying that I know there's no God. I'm just saying that I don't believe in God, but I don't know.
So, that makes my heart feel really happy right now that you can actually see that I have a relationship with God. So, help me to understand what you see that has opened your eyes. Because I did mention that last episode. I said, so I'm hopeful that people will see the difference, hear the difference between relationship and religion. Because when you said yes to doing this, 100%, you said religion. And now all of a sudden you said you see relationship. Explain that because
Well,
I want to hear that.
you said it actually. And I think with anything, as you learn more about it, you learn different vocabulary, you see it differently, and that just kind of, I don't know, it stuck with me. It became more of a thing of like not just an imaginary person, right? It was like you have a relationship with a person, and when you talk about it in that way, it makes it more visible to me about your belief. It doesn't change how I feel, but it makes it more
At
clear
all?
for me. No,
Hmm.
but it makes it more clear for me why you have the faith that you do.
Okay. I'll take some of it, but I feel like if it's not changing for you, then I'm definitely not. Obviously, I need to be a little stronger and bolder with you and not
Well,
so.
you won't change. You won't change the way I feel. God will change the way I feel.
Oh, now we're talking Holy Spirit conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Are we getting
And
into that right now? Or
we
again,
will. We,
are
we
you
will.
trying to avoid the next question I have for you?
Oh no, I am so ready.
Tim, when we were talking one time, just the other day, briefly, I said, no, don't tell me about that. You said, Ruthie, there's something that happened. Relationship versus religion.
Mm.
Do you see how you forget? That's why we always need to have record on. You were in
Keep
the
going. Keep
car.
going.
You said
Uh-huh.
I was in the car and someone was waving.
Oh. Oh, okay. Okay.
Gosh, darn it.
Okay.
It was just the other day.
So relationship with God. Okay. So there is a church that I drive by every Sunday when I'm going to the gym or going to the dog park. And there's people out there and they wave. And before I would just drive by and be like, oh, there's those people, like
The church people.
they're church people. They're trying to brainwash me and like with their phony waves. And it's like,
It's not
but then,
phony. They're using their gifts and their personal strengths.
well,
They sign up for that position. Okay,
they
go
do.
ahead.
But I want to
Okay,
remind
sorry.
me to tell you about the guy. Okay. So now when I drive by, I see them, and this happened when you told me this about the, it's about having a relationship with God. Like those people, like it actually makes my day to drive by them, and I wave at them, and I'm like, hey,
So,
and um, and if I drive by too late in the day, because it says like service at 9 and 11. So if I drive by at 11:30, there's no one out there because they're inside.
mhm, mhm.
And so I'm like, ah, oh, dang it, I'm too late. It makes my day like to drive by and be like, hey.
So, so maybe something you could try, Tim, is when Gordy's not with you, because I don't see dogs in church unless it's a service dog. But one time that you don't see it and you actually feel like you miss it, then maybe just pull in the parking lot, walk in, and sit down and listen to the message, because maybe there's something you need to hear that either you're going through or is going to prepare you for something that's going to happen. So maybe you
Yeah, I
should
feel like
do.
some of the churches around here, you got to like call ahead and make an
No,
appointment and
no,
like, who
Tim,
are you?
Tim,
You can't come
Tim,
in here. We don't know who
Tim.
you are. And
They might say hello to you.
here's a
In fact,
donation plate. Give me some money.
no, that's not how it is. Yes, you give donation, but that is not. Oh boy, do we have a lot of work here, people, to do. And I'm hopeful that with each guest, you're going to take away something that builds in a positive, that you begin to say, oh, there is a God. And whether it takes you
But if they
weeks,
don't, it's
months,
okay too, because we're still going to bring hope and encouragement to
absolutely.
non believers.
But I have 100% hope that with each episode, each guest, Tim, there's going to be something that you're going to walk away with.
Oh, I
That's going
I
to,
absolutely believe.
but it's going to help you to see that God does exist. So, all right, Tim, that's my question for the day, and you answered that. Thank you. But
Is it? You don't have any more? Those are
I
good
do.
questions. Give me
Oh, no,
another one.
no.
Come on.
Nope.
Come on.
We're going to run out of time.
Come on. Come on. Come on. One
Come
more.
on,
One more.
Tim.
One
Ready?
more.
Tim,
Yeah, I'm ready.
so you shared with us what you
Hmm.
do today,
I
and
did.
you're closer to 50 than you are 40.
Hmm.
And when I met you, you were 5. So I believe my journey was chosen for me. I had no idea that my daughter would get cancer. I would run a nonprofit, create it, do all that. But you, on the other hand, your journey, you thought you had your journey all planned out. So, Tim, could you share with us? And I'd love to hear again. It's been a long time since you shared, and maybe there's going to be things that you share that I've never heard before. Uninterrupted, I want you to share your journey and how you thought you had it all planned out and what your future was going to be. Well, at least from when you graduated. So, can you take it from there?
I can. I grew up where my outlet for energy and everything about being just a single child boy. I played a lot of sports, and my parents kept me active in baseball, football, soccer, taekwondo. I mean, you name it, I was active. And I thought that I was going to play soccer for my whole life and loved the sport, and ended up having an injury that I stopped playing soccer in my junior year of high school and turned to football. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm a heck of a kicker. So let's do that. And went to college, played football all through college, played some semi pro football after college, and really just thought that was going to be my future, was just sports and being active. And I ended up coaching for a while and went to a combine. And I got to tell you that the discipline that it takes to be anything professional is you need drive and you need to be committed. And it was a lot. And I, after college, ended up moving to a town with Bethany. We met in college. And I, for some stupid reason, took a job as a college president in China. And Bethany and I split up. She went home, and boy, was she pissed at me. She's like, "Are you kidding me? You're taking a job in China?" And get out to China and doing some hiring and setting up the school and curriculum. And I get an email from mom. It says, "Hey, I just want to let you know, your father's not doing very well, and it's fine." And you always know when mom says it's fine, it's not fine. And so I ended up looking at this guy who flies me out there, trusting me to open a college. And I'm like, dude, I got to go home. I can't do this. And completely, I must have put this guy in a weird spot to go back to his bosses and be like, well, this guy who we hired and flew out here and put all of our time in is going home. But I knew I had to go home because dad was sick. And so came home, spent 8 months with him before he passed away. And, you know, wish I would have spent even more time in that 8 months and didn't get the opportunity to, but love him very much. And then a couple of months later, mom sells the house. So lost my dad, lost my childhood house. Mom moves out into Eastern Washington, lost my mom, ended up moving into a place just down the road. Lost all all that I knew within like a few months. And so um, that completely changed who I was, what I was doing. I ended up taking a job at the middle school in Snohomish and then taught at the high school that I went to, taught high school English, and did that for 4 years. But yeah, it was such a weird, quick whirlwind of life changing events. And so here I am a year earlier thinking, yeah, I'm going to play professional football, to a year later of lost my dad, lost my house, mom moved, my college girlfriend isn't living with me. What in the hell is going on?
Mm.
And from there, just a series of choices of making my life better. And, um, you
Sometimes
know,
not always good choices.
oh man, I made terrible choices in my mid.
I think
Kind
we
of
all did,
amazed
Tim.
that.
Don't you think so?
What's that?
Don't you think a lot of us did?
Yeah, those choices have helped me build the stands that I believe in now in my life. And the patience, it's funny, like when people refer to me as patient, Bethany will be like, Tim, my husband.
I know that's not one of the personal strengths I would give you at all. I agree with Bethany.
It's funny because the people that I work with, a lot of them are like, man, you're so patient. How do you have the patience? You're so unflappable. And it's interesting. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I got off topic, but that was kind of a weird journey to go from, birth to 20.
Mm.
Yeah, I was 21. So in the first 21 years of my life, a certain course, and then that is not the course, dude.
If I can go backwards and interject a little bit, I was just so proud of you, Tim, watching you play your sport and just getting to be a part of your life, meeting all your friends growing up. And yes, you were a very busy boy. Definitely helped me to learn a little bit about Brandon and Cole. One of the times that I feel that we connected on a level I'd never connected with you before was when you and I were having lunch together. Your dad was in the hospital. Mom was with him. And I remember me and you, because of our relationship, we found this opportunity just to laugh together. I'll never forget that. And I think it actually helped me when it was time with Carla, is that we had laughter in the moment together. And then we got the call, you guys need to come now. And just the honor it was for the four of us to be together. Like we had never all been together like that.
Yeah. Interesting story is I remember where we were. We were at a place called the Boat Street Cafe.
I don't remember where, but I remember we were sitting against the wall.
Yep. I recently went back in there, and it's not the Boat Street Cafe anymore. It's a coffee shop. I think it's called Fab Coffee. And went in there. I had some free time in between store visits, and I walked in. It was so emotional. I was like, I remember this place. I'm gonna go in and see what it's all about. And I go in, and it still kind of looks the same, different shop. Ordered a sandwich and a coffee, and just kind of like sat on the couch and thought about being in there again. I'm gonna start crying.
Mhm.
And everyone was so nice, and the food was so good, and the coffee was so good. A couple weeks later, Actually, the picture on the website of me with Gordy,
Mm-hmm.
that day, Bethany and I went in there together.
Oh,
And I told her, I was like, yeah, we're sitting in that back corner where we got the call. And
I'm just so grateful that we have that moment and that it was a good moment. And you said, I'm going to start crying. I see a tear running down your face right now. I don't want to be insensitive, but I love that you're crying right now because you're always making me laugh. And for you to share emotions, it's so important to find balance between sharing the story and having laughter and then being able to cry in the same moment, just to experience all those emotions. For me and you, we didn't have too much of a relationship from those years on because of the change that happened so quick. And it was a lot to go through in such a short amount of time. What is something right now, if I may ask, because I wasn't prepared to ask you this question, but I'm going to ask, is what's something that you hold on to, Tim, that you feel like is a regret that you would like to let go of, that will help you bring some peace and something that I can also pray for you on?
so the time after Dad passed away and losing my home and Mom moving away, I wasn't there for you in that moment because I was caught up in me and my choices after that. And I wasn't there when I wouldn't say you needed me, but I could have
I
been
did.
there. But what's funny is that was the time that I needed you guys. And it stinks. It stinks to
Stinks.
think that the things that we both needed the most, we didn't have.
We had them, but we didn't know how to either ask for them, reach out. And I think that as we're growing as young people, I mean, it's taken us back. It's been a long time since I've been that age. But we're so self absorbed in ourselves that we often don't see what other people need.
Or what we need. It's funny, you say we're self-absorbed, and we are, but we don't see the things that we need the most.
That's right. And I don't want to keep pounding this in, but that's when God steps in. That's when your friends step in. That's when you don't know how to pray for yourself and other people around you. I didn't know God when we were going through all this. What is something that you struggle with holding on to regret that you wish you could just let go of?
I wish I would have spent more time with my dad in that 8 months that I had. And I remember him coming downstairs because we had the 2-level house and I was living in the lower part. And he was upstairs watching the Mariner game and I was downstairs watching the Mariner game. And I remember him walking downstairs and sitting on the couch with me and we watched the Mariner game together. and and thinking to myself, why am I down here? Why wasn't I up there with him? Why
Can't go
was I
backwards.
not spending time with my dad when I had the time?
Because you didn't know any different, Tim. You did not know any different.
Yeah, you don't know. You just don't know in that time. But it helps to think about it differently when that moment comes back around. And
Mm-hmm.
so,
But think about all the people that didn't have any time with their parent.
mm,
You had some. So I think I've heard you, when I talk about pain and brokenness, and you say hold on to negative. Um, Actually, I'm going to turn that back around on you and think about all the people that don't have any time with their parent, didn't maybe know that their parent was sick. And every moment you did have, it's a gift and a blessing
it is.
and becomes a strength. And the memories you do have, it's so beautiful. So hold on to that and
Yeah,
just
I appreciate that,
celebrate
Ruthie.
them. Celebrate them.
I'm
And when
jealous
that,
of the memory you have as well because you saw things differently. You experienced different
with,
memories with Doug.
yeah, he loved He loved me. And I say that because it was a rocky road when we first met. Expectations, I expected her to be a mom figure. She expected me to be a daughter figure, but we met as older, so we were becoming friends. And we would have disagreements. I think that would be a light way of putting it. Very emotional. But your father never took a side, just loved us equally when I was around. It always made me feel so welcome. I miss him.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm just glad that you were willing to share your journey here. I know that during your time leaving being an English teacher until your job now, you were also a bartender.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom and I would say, my gosh, he went from this to English teacher. Now he's a bartender.
I
And
made
look at you
far
now.
more money as a bartender than a teacher.
But you now, what you're doing, the executive training, just the conversations, all the things that you're learning, looking back, what would you say to old Tim today? No, think about that for a moment. What if somebody's sitting there right now feeling like you feel, not knowing where their journey's going, not knowing the joy that they're going to have in their life again? They're just feeling lost, broken. They're feeling like, I don't want to keep going.
I would say, take a deep breath and look to the people around you, because that's where you're going to find strength. The people around you that you have in your life are the ones that are going to help you and be there and you can count on. And if I had known that then, I would probably hold on to relationships differently.
Well, I'm going to tell you something I've never told you or Mom about the day that your dad died. Can I do that?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a newbie Christian. I was young in my faith. I remember I tried talking a little bit about God with Mom, and she didn't want to talk about it. So when your dad was in his bed passing, I didn't know what to do. And I didn't have the courage as a new Christian to say, can I pray for us? And I didn't want to upset Mom and get her emotional. She's losing her husband. You're losing your dad. So I kept closing my eyes and I would put my hands on your dad and I was praying silently the entire time, every moment I had. One, because I knew that I needed to do that. And the other was because I was too afraid to do it out loud. But I just want you to know that I was doing that. And though we didn't talk out loud about prayer, I just want you to remember that God doesn't need us at that point. He doesn't ever need us, really, even now. He uses us, but he doesn't need us. And your dad could have accepted Christ during their time together. So that I know we're going to discuss later. So Tim, let's bring closure to today's episode. I picked out a Bible verse. This is James 1:2-4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So something to think about. What's our song for today, Tim?
We do have a song dropped on our playlist. It's a Great Day to Be Alive by Travis Tritt.
That's a great song.
Yeah, that's a good one. How might the strengths that we live out each day, often without noticing, become part of a turning point in someone else's journey?
Goodbye, friends.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're so glad you're here. Did today's episode give you a little boost of hope and encouragement right when you needed it? If it did, we'd love it if you'd hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe even share it with someone who could use a little light today. For extra content and more from this podcast, make sure to follow us at Instagram at letitbe.podcast. And remember, there's still beauty unfolding in your story.